Hello everyone, my name is Seth, and today I'm going to give you a recap of the 97th Academy Awards. Thank you everybody, thank you. I humbly accept this Oscar for the best small YouTuber with under 300 subscribers from the state of North Carolina. I couldn't have done it without all of you, so I really appreciate it. In the rest of this video, I'm going to talk about the other categories you might have heard of and that you might have seen on TV, not just this one right here. But before we go any farther, don't forget to like this video, hit subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a video. We're getting closer and closer to 300 subscribers, so if you're new here, please consider subscribing. And if you're not new here, share this video around with any friends or family. It can really help the channel grow, and it would absolutely make my day. Since it was the Oscars, doing the Oscars recap, figured I could dress up a little bit. I hope this gives my recap a little bit more credibility, but we got quite a few categories to go through, so let's just jump right into it with Best Original Screenplay. Best Original Screenplay went to Sean Baker, who wrote Anora. Best Adapted Screenplay goes to Peter Straughan for Conclave, which is really well-written film. The next category is visual effects, and this was probably a tough category to decide. There's a lot of really exceptional effects. Something like Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes was in this. Alien Romulus, which everything looked great in that. But in the end, I think the right movie won with Dune Part 2. The visuals in that were absolutely outstanding. Next category is Best Sound, and Dune Part 2 wins that as well. That's another film where when I was watching it in the theater, I already knew this needs to win Best Sound at the Oscars. The winner for live action short film goes to I'm Not a Robot. The winner of production design was Wicked. And there were some other really good films here with the production design, but I think I completely understand them getting it to Wicked. Although I think Dune Part 2 was probably a close second. And The Brutalist is also nominated here. I know there was some issues that people raised with the use of AI in this film, particularly around some of the production design. So I can kind of understand why the voters didn't end up voting for that. But I think this was kind of a coin flip between Wicked and Dune Part 2. Best Original Song goes to El Mal from Emilia Perez. Best Original Score goes to The Brutalist, composed by Daniel Blumberg. Now, I do have a slight bone to pick with the Academy here because I totally think that Dune Part 2 should have been nominated here. They made the distinction that they think that it used too many themes from the original, but it's a sequel. So yeah, some of the themes should come back. I think that Dune Part 2 probably should have won this category, but I think Dune Part 2 should have at least had a fighting chance. The winner for makeup and hairstyling is The Substance. And I know the Academy doesn't really like to honor and recognize horror, so this is a big win. This is like a horror thriller film, and for these effects to be recognized the way that they are, that's just a huge win, and that's just really cool to see. And plus, the makeup and hair in this is absolutely insane. The Oscar for International Feature Film goes to I'm Still Here from Brazil, and if I remember seeing correctly, this is the first win in this category from Brazil. Best Film Editing goes to Sean Baker with Anora. The Oscar for Documentary Short Film goes to The Only Girl in the Orchestra. The Oscar for Documentary Feature Film goes to No Other Land. The Oscar for Directing goes to Sean Baker with Anora. It was a huge night for Sean Baker. The Oscar for Costume Design goes to Paul Tazewell for Wicked. And yeah, completely agree. The costumes are absolutely fantastic in Wicked. The costumes do such a great job of selling the world to the audience. And if I'm remembering correctly, I did see that Paul is the first Black man to win this award. And he also graduated from the North Carolina School of the Arts. So I always love to see North Carolina represented well. The Oscar for Cinematography goes to Lowell Crawley for The Brutalist. And From what I could tell, this is an absolutely beautifully shot film. Although, not to sound like a broken record, I might would have given it to Dune Part 2. It's just, to me, I think Dune Part 2 is one of the best films of this past year. I kind of feel like it should have gotten nominated for a few more awards. But that's not the takeaway from The Brutalist. It looked absolutely beautiful. The Oscar for animated short film goes to In the Shadow of the Cypress. Animated feature film goes to Flow. One of the things I think that makes Flow really impressive is that it was done using some free assets from Blender, which is incredible. I think that just goes to show that if you want to make a film, you can do it. Just go out and make a film. Honestly, at this point, you can just get some of your friends together. You can use your phones. If you are passionate about film and don't know where to start, just start and even film it with your phone. Use free assets that you can get online. Sometimes the constraints and the pressure can really create a really beautiful film. The Oscar for actress in a supporting role goes to Zoe Saldana for Emilia Perez. The Oscar for actress in a leading role goes to Mikey Madison for Anora. And fun fact for some of the other fellow horror fans out there is Mikey Madison is now the first Ghostface to win an acting award at the Oscars. So that's a pretty cool piece of horror trivia. The Oscar for actor in a supporting role goes to Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain. The Oscar for actor in a leading role goes to Adrien Brody for The Brutalist. There's some great performances here, but I just gotta say, I really, really love Ralph Fiennes in Conclave. I thought he was absolutely incredible, and I think he's probably one of the top 3, maybe best actors working today who does not have an Oscar. So I really hope that that can change for him in the next upcoming years. And now, last but certainly not least, the big one, Best Picture. That went to Anora. If it was me and I was voting out of this list of 10 films, I probably would have had my vote for Dune Part 2. But this was a big night for Sean Baker and Anora. Anora led the way with 5 Oscar wins. I also wanted to add a couple of different interesting Oscar facts for this year's awards. This is the first year where 2 films were nominated for Best Picture and Best International Feature, and that is Emilia Perez and I'm Still Here. Flow became the second animated feature film to be nominated for Best Animated Feature and Best International Feature. The Best Director nominees for this year were all first-time nominees. Sean Baker's 4 wins for Anora ties the record for most Oscars won by the same person in a single year, and he's tied with Walt Disney. And at the age of 25, Mikey Madison has become the 9th youngest person to win Best Actress. With her win for Best Supporting Actress, Zoe Saldana also became the first American of Dominican descent to win. I'm Still Here also became the first ever Portuguese film to be nominated for Best Picture. And like I said earlier, is the first film from Brazil to win Best International Feature. And to me, one of the biggest kind of feel-good stories is that Flow became the first independent film to win Best Animated Feature. So for the films with multiple wins in this year's Oscars, Anora comes on top with 5. The Brutalist has 3. Emilia Perez, Wicked, and Dune Part 2 all have 2 apiece. But it's always fun to celebrate a year in film. I kind of feel like 2024 for me was a little bit of a down year. I think that also kind of shows in the box office. The box office for the year of 2024 was down. I think part of this kind of has to do with the writers and actor strikes. I think that affected some of the productions that were going to be in 2024. Maybe some of them got pushed back to this year. But it's always a great time just celebrating film. Film is just such a great and expressive medium, and I love any chance I get to have to talk movies with anybody. That's why I'm here. So congratulations to all of the winners of this year's Oscars, and I'm excited to see what other awesome films we have to look forward to for 2025. But that's it. That's my recap of the 97th Academy Awards. Let me know what you thought in the comment section down below. Where would your vote have gone for some of these other films? Or do you agree completely with the Academy across the board? Or was your favorite film from last year not even nominated? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to have a conversation with you about it. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like this video, hit subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a video. You can follow me on social media pretty much anywhere, @CinemaSeth, and I'll see you next time.